muted me.
Bobby, blame it on Bobby.
Well, I hit all mutes.
Oh yeah, you can't do that because then it mutes everybody. So.
It does, but
then you got to
good.
mute it.
Let's see how many people love me.
Okay, well, we got 105 so far. So okay, we'll start over here. Ready? Okay, this is Virtual Christmas Summit 2021. We're in the sponsored by Boscoyo Studio. This room is sponsored by Wally's Lights. Questions should be placed in the chat window, and as the presentation is going along, and then other people can address them, or the presenter will look through them at the end of his prepared remarks. Please keep all cameras and microphones off. Carl will be, well, you're not going to record. So, and this is a session on video creation and editing using free software by Carl Mirsky. It's all yours, Carl.
Hi. Hey, thanks, Jim. Thanks, Bobby. And again, thanks to Boscoyo and Wally's Lights and all the vendors. So my name is Carl. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I also do voiceovers, one of several voiceover professionals in the community. So I did a class yesterday on doing, actually doing Audacity. But today I want to kind of do a class on video using free software that's out there for creating your videos. So a lot of us do like to do videos of our displays and then put them on YouTube or Vimeo or Facebook. But a lot of us don't have hundreds or thousands of dollars that we want to spend to create these videos. So I personally use free software. I do use some paid software, and I'll talk about that in a second. But for the most part, I think this is a DIY hobby, and you can get similar results, or if you really spend the time, you can get the same results with what's out there for free or almost free than you can with paid software. So first thing I want to ask, and I know you're all muted, but if any of you, I guess we could do a show of hands maybe, or virtually, but it would be interesting to see how many people actually use like Adobe Premiere, Lightworks Pro, Apple iMovie versus some of the free software that's out there. But usually it's about a third of the folks are using the paid and then everybody else is using the free. So what I've got here is a list of those that are actually paid software. Good, you go ahead and put that in the chat. That's awesome. I see Shotcut, free, Shotcut, Audacity, Premiere Pro, Sony Vegas. I don't have that on here, but that's also a great tool. A lot of Premiere Pro, iMovie, Pinnacle. So there's a lot out there, right? And so, and some of them, they go anywhere from $50 all the way up to thousands of dollars. So again, this is just a short list of those that are out there. Yeah, using the Adobe suite, MoAVI, I don't have on here either, but using the Adobe suite is great. If you already have it, Premiere Pro, Premiere Rush, they're great tools. I've used them because, again, when I'm doing audio work using Audacity, I'll tend to, it's seamless integration with the audio. But the free software, we got Resolve, DaVinci Resolve, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So the free software out there, there's a lot out there. I mean, you could search and there's everywhere you go, there's different versions. And I've just highlighted again some of them. Lightworks. Lightworks is a really good tool. I've tried to use it myself. It's very comprehensive. It's semi-professional. The problem is the free version is very limited. You can only end up producing a video in 720p, which in today's world, you really, need HD. So it is limited in that aspect. I guess if you're posting it to the web and you're happy with that, it's a great tool, but you really have to get into the paid version if you want to get a higher resolution or get more effects. HitFilm Express, again, same thing. They have a free version, but I call it donationware. They have different tiers you can get into. VDSC is good. MoAVI, again, we talked about. Windows 10, we're going to highlight a little bit because Windows 10 does have a video editor. It's kind of hidden if those of you who remember Windows Movie Maker. You know, it was kind of the Windows Movie Maker was the predecessor. I think a lot of us actually used Movie Maker back when we started. If you've been doing this anytime, that was the de facto. You could do a lot of stuff with it. But I saw OpenShot, Shotcut, DaVinci Resolve we'll talk about. Again, Hit Film Express, Movie Maker Online, and then Blender. Blender is a tool to create images, but you can do video with it. You can do video with it as well. So yeah, so DaVinci Resolve, I do have it on my system, and I kind of hesitate to bring it up, mainly because it is very intensive. The layout of DaVinci is pretty much the same as the others. I will say that if you have a system that can handle it for video, it's probably the best one out there, hands down. And the reason that I say that is DaVinci is used in a lot of professional video creation. And it's really, so the software itself you can get, which is free, but they make their money on the hardware, on the consoles. They're very big in color correction. So a lot of their software is built around really getting that movie film type of image. And so if you can use it and it's a learning curve. I think the user manual itself is a 256-page user manual, but there are tons of videos out there on how to use it. So it's not that I don't recommend it by any means, but it is very comprehensive. There's a very big learning curve. As you can see, there's just a lot to it, but the company does give it away for free. But the other hardware that goes along with it could cost upwards of thousands of dollars. So let's talk a little bit about some of the free software here. Somebody made a comment in the chat about graphics cards and really the video card being really key to it, and that's true. You've got to have a high-end video card, but you also have to, because everything's going to render on the GPU on the card. And so most of our systems, unless you have a higher end gaming system or one that's really designed for video, you're going to have most of the systems you buy them, they have a generic graphics card. So yeah, if you're going to do it, especially with something like Resolve, recommend getting a high-end graphics card. Let's see, Resolve is no more complex than X-Lights. Agree, disagree. Again, there's learning curves, right? Once you learn it and you use it, it's like any other tool. It becomes very innate. But I didn't want to spend a lot of time on that because a lot of folks aren't going to use it, so or may not use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop my video so you can see my screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead in here. Oh, let me bring this over here. I can, oh, well, I can't move that. So in the search button, if you just search for video editor in the Windows search, it's going to come up and it's going to bring up the Windows video editor, or hopefully, right? So look, very basic, very plain, looks like this. You know, not a whole lot to it. So again, you can go into, you can, you know, import. We're going to do a new video project. So, you know, it brings up your library, and we're going to call this just VCS 21. Again, like anything else, very simple, very basic. Now, what I'm going to do here is there's different ways to bring video into your screen. Actually, let me go back here. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and just make it real easy. I'm going to select a bunch of video files. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just drag them in here. I find that to be the easiest way. It's going to go ahead and render. You can also do an add. It'll bring up, if you do add, it'll bring it up. Of course, Microsoft in there, the way they do things is you can go to the web and you can get free and paid images. And I'll show you something about that in a second, and videos, by the way. Everything that I'm using today is going to be free. There's no royalties. They're out there for anyone to use for their projects. So I'll go ahead and show you that. So what I have here is I've just picked a couple of videos. I don't know why this one isn't rendering. I may have to do that. But what I'm going to show you is the easiest way. You have a storyboard. And let's go ahead and bring that up. So on the storyboard, you basically just drag your video. And as you're going through there, I don't know if you can hear this or not. I don't know if the audio is ported. We'll give it a shot. Up here, can you hear that audio okay or not? Okay, good. So this one just has to have background audio. So it gives you a preview of what you're looking at. You can also do it up here. Or you can select multiple. So you can do one at a time, or you can go ahead and you can, I'm gonna move this one. We're actually gonna do this and then this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drag these down and it'll go ahead and auto-populate. So this is one way to do this, right? So I'm basically already creating my video. So if I wanted to go ahead and preview this, I would just go in here and just go ahead and start it. It'll go through the first video, go to the second one, third one, and so on until it gets to the end. Again, I actually like this tool. So adding a title card. So I want to add a title to this thing. So I just go in here and it gives me this screen here. I can go ahead and add text. And so when I go into text, I can choose any type that I want. This is the Windows video editor. If you just search for, again, somebody asked the question, if you search for video editor, it'll be there. Let's do cartoon, otherwise known as Comic Sans. Some people like that, some people don't. And then you can go in here and you can edit your text. So up here, we're going to call this VCS 2021. Whoops. Okay. And that's pretty much it. And then you can also, you can say where you want it in the layout. If you want it top, bottom, middle. You can determine the length of where you want it, start and end points. So like this one's already pre-designed here. So it'll fade out. If you want it shorter, this one's set for 3 seconds. We can go here. If we want to, we can make it a little bit shorter, right? Now, one thing I will tell you is when you're rendering in the work screens, it is pretty, it's a little bit laggy, but that's just the nature of it. They don't use resources very well. You can also do a background if you want. There's also themes, so you can go and actually pick a theme within here, and it'll lay everything out for you. But we're going to go ahead and go with this. So we're done. We take that, we move it right here. So again, everything is drag and drop. So now when we go ahead and play our video, see, and now it goes right into the next scene and the next scene. Can you pan and zoom video or picture or any of the free software? You can, and we'll talk about that. In this one, it's very basic. Now there's 3D effects you can add. There's filters. It comes with some basic filters. You can change the speed of your video. You can show the bars, like if you're looking at a movie or not. You can rotate the video. But again, it's very basic. And you can add text to specific videos. So if I wanted to add text to this video file, I could go in here and again, I can add text just to the file, right? Right. So again, pretty much, and you can modify it and do whatever you want it to do. So again, it's very easy to use motion. I can determine how I want this to come in. Pan left, pan right, tilt up. Again, they're all pretty much here. So if we do this and it goes into here, it should, see, the video will come in like that. Sometimes it works on things, sometimes it doesn't. Again, it is kind of free. Now this is a very long clip, right? So I don't know if I necessarily want this clip running this long, right? So one of the things that this doesn't have, if you'll notice here, it does not have the ability to natively, you have transitions, right? So can we shorten up one of the videos? Absolutely. So it doesn't give you the ability to actually do transitions, right? They've incorporated into the pictures application. So pretty much you have to go into Paint 3D. You can go ahead and do some massaging of your video and then come back and put it in here. They really should add it, but they haven't. So it is what it is. All right. So let's trim this video. I want to trim this down. I don't really want it this long. So I'm going to go in here and I can do a couple things. I can go in here to trim, right? And I can go ahead and I can determine where I want it to start and where I want it to end. So let's say I want this video clip to only run, we'll say 10 seconds, right? So now I've created my start, I've created my end, done. And now I have a 10-second clip. And it should roll right into the next one. Let's see what, yep, there we go. So now it's going to roll into the next one rather than being the whole thing. So again, same thing here. Now this one is actually got a video in it. So what I'm going to do again, now you can split video too. So let's say you want to split it and you want to create, why would I want to split it? Well, maybe I want one part of the video in one side, in one section, and I want to move another part of the video somewhere else. So I can actually split it, and I'll show you that with another video here in a second. So let's go ahead and trim this one too, because this one actually has, go through here, let's see. Santa and his reindeer coming in. This one I may have already, and I want to trim it right here, right? So what I do, again, I'll drag this in, right to there, done. So now that video has been shortened. If I wanted to split it, I can, you can do this, can it be done multiple times? Yes, you can go in there and if you split it. So if I go in here and I want to split this, right? And let's say, where do I want to split it? I want to split it, let's say, we'll go right in here, right here. So I want to split it right here because I don't want that intro there. So now I'm going to do done. So now what it should do is it should create two videos here. One of the entry, which I don't want that, right? I don't want to see this part here. I only want to see this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out. So now what I end up going is from here to here. Again, the only thing that this doesn't do today is you can't really do those transitions. You can kind of do some effects, but it's not real intuitive. But again, I think that it is for what it is. Same thing here. Let's take this video here. We're going to go ahead and trim it down because I only really want a few seconds in here. So we'll do that. I guess 9 seconds is okay. We'll just leave that one. The train is the one I wanted to do the same thing. So again, the train, we have train. I want to go one loop. We'll go right to here and done. Okay. And then I have this last clip here. Now this one is, I'm going to show you how, when I split this, why I want to do this, right? So this one, I'm going to go ahead and split. And so this video, we have our good friend here. He sits down. He's going to read a magazine. This is a very long video. It's 1 minute and 9 seconds. I don't really need 1 minute and 9 seconds for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to, and this is called scrubbing. So you can actually scrub the video right where you want to be. So what I want to do here is I want to take it right to this part where he picks up the paper. And he should go in here now and he's going to open it up right there. But this is a good transition right here, right where he's got his feet up. So I'm going to go ahead. See where it says here, clip 1 and clip 2, and you can do it multiple times. So this is where I want to split this, and I'll show you why. So now I've got this one, and now I want to take this one and I want to trim it. So this one, I actually want to go all the way to the end here because this is towards the end. Right there. So I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to start the trim here. All right, so now let's see if I did this right. We'll go through, he picks up the paper, and if I did this right, and so now it transitioned right into the other page. So what we have now is we have a full video here, which is 1 minute and 14 seconds. So with that 1 minute and 14 seconds now, but there's the only audio we have is with the fireplace, right? So that's kind of boring. And so what I want to do is I want to add music. Now I can add my own audio. So I can import an audio file if I want to do that. So if I have one that I already want to do, or it's got some interesting background music already in here. So they give you some options here. I thought I found one. Let's see, there was one in here that I actually found that was, there we go. Let's play this one. Yeah, it's a little loud, but you get the picture there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add that one. So there it is. So we're going to sync it to our music, to our video. So now when we play our video, now I'm going to go ahead, and I know it's a little quiet, but I did that for purposes. So now we're going to start here and we're going to watch our video. Actually, I could probably make that a little louder. Try that. And again, we're in render mode. So, and then of course we have Santa here. We transition into here. But if I wanted to go ahead and do actual fades, fade in and fade out, I could do that in, say, Paint. Again, they should add it, but it's free, so you kind of get what you pay for. And then there's where we trimmed it down. Here's the first section. We opened it right up.
Merry Christmas.
So what it basically did was, what's interesting with the audio, we do the same thing. I do a lot of that when I'm doing audio work, and I'll actually take an audio piece and I'll make it fit the video. And I think you were talking about that. It was a question that came up. It's not perfect, but I think what they do is great. So let's say I had a 2-minute video, it would actually keep that music in there. So what it does is it resizes the audio and it finds certain cut points that it can sync it to your video. So however long your video is, can you mute the fire sound? The answer is yes. So in the video here, you'll notice that it's got a volume there. So now when I bring that in, hang on, we go back here. So now you don't hear the fire. So I think it's a great tool. I would actually use it if I was doing a quick, down and dirty video, and I wanted to throw this thing together. Then I would use this. It works really well. I think for what it has. You can change the speed of the video. You can speed it up, slow it down. Here you can go ahead and have the black bars. I don't really want to use those. Of course, you can rotate a video. How can you sync multiple shots? Not quite sure what you're asking. Free ones that have multiple video and audio streams. Okay, so yeah. So other tools give you the ability to have multiple tracks. And where do you find videos like these? And I'll show you. And you'll be like, holy cow, there's like hundreds and thousands of these things. And I'll show you that. So again, I use everything that I use unless somebody asks me to use specific audio or video. Everything that I do is royalty free or it's paid where I don't have to pay any additional. There's no copyright or anything. So it keeps me out of trouble and it saves you. So the last thing is when you want to finish the video, you just hit finish video. It'll automatically do it in 1080p, which is awesome. You can use hardware accelerated encoding. Again, if you have it, use it, and then export. And so then it's going to ask you, what do you want to call it? I'm just going to call it VCS 21_1. It'll export it. And then once it's done, you have a nice clean video. And all the tools pretty much work the same way. So no matter whether you're using this or using Shotcut or OpenShot, and I'll show you those as well. It's the same concept. So now if we go into here, oops. I don't know oh, there it is, okay. It automatically started playing. It opened it up and it automatically started playing. So there's my video. And so you have a nice MP4 video. You can actually now take this and you can use tools. You can either use this audio video for your sequence. So let's say you just wanted the audio out of this, you could just basically add this and you'd have your audio. Or if you wanted the video, you could there's other classes I think that were yesterday talking about, and those videos are actually out on YouTube.
Merry Christmas.
So, and here, of course, we're in Photos 3D, which again, remember I was talking about editing it. So this is where you can do more editing to a video you've already created. So it's pretty intuitive. Just create the video. You said the video editor doesn't seem to be on my system. Let me see if I can bring up the search. And all you do is come in here and type in video. It should be on Windows 10. Whether you can download it or not, I can't answer that question. I'm sure if you do a search on Microsoft, there'll be something about it. But I believe it comes standard with Windows 10 with Paint, 3D, pictures, or with your picture app and video editor. So any questions on that one? I think you can unmute. I don't know if users can unmute or not. We try not to usually in most of the presentations because there's a lot of background, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask, otherwise we'll move on. Let me show you. So, whoops, that's not what I want. So if you go to the videos you were asking about, Pixabay, pixabay.com. Yep. We will definitely move on here in a sec. But somebody asked the question about where can you get these images in Pixabay. Pixabay has millions of images, videos, and all you do is, let's say what you're looking for. If you're looking for Christmas, you go ahead and search, and there it is. And so you got to be careful because the first one they give you obviously is sponsored images. So if you click on those are actually paid. But down here, you've got hundreds and hundreds. You can do it with video. So let's say I wanted to select this one. You click on it, free download. It downloads it in 1920 by 1280. There'll be different resolutions. If you want a higher resolution, then it would be a paid one. But basically you click free download. And sometimes it asks you a question. I got pop-ups blocked on here. So, but if you do a free download, it'll come up, it'll let you download it. Sometimes it'll ask for a donation. But for the most part, there it is. It'll go ahead and download on your machine. Really, it's really kind of a cool website. Again, I used a lot. Videos, same things. Illustrations, vector graphics. Same thing. Christmas, the videos. There's this one here. I want that one. Again, free download. Um, there we go. If it wants to save it, boom, I'm done. That's it. All right, so let's move on. Let's see, the Windows 10, you should be able to get it from Microsoft Store. Pretty sure Windows Video Editor requires Windows 10 1909 or later. Yeah, so yeah, you probably have, if you don't have the most recent update for Windows 10, it may not be there. So, all right, so there's that. So let's go back to the presentation for a second. And okay, OpenShot. So now we get into OpenShot. You can go to openshot.org, which is where you can go ahead and download it. And this is one that I've used quite a bit. I've used a couple of others. There's some other video editors out there, but let's see. Come on. Open up. There we go. Where'd it go? There it is. All right. So OpenShot. So again, little different layout. Again, similar type of. If you want to go ahead, you can. Let me drag this over here. It's easier. All right. So you can, if you want to add your files, you've got a place to add your video files, your audio files, and still images. So again, same thing. You create a new project. It'll automatically come in here and open it up for the project. You can look up recent projects. You can set up profiles. You can bring in a project. So if you have, XML files from Final Cut Pro, you can bring those in, and then you can export them out to another tool, and then save it. So yeah, so it looks a little like Camtasia. You're going to find that a lot of these software now all look exactly the same. They give you, so down here you're going to have tracks, right? So they give you these tracks where you can lay your video, your audio on. It starts really, I don't know why they do it this way, from the bottom up. I never use 5 tracks, so you can delete those. Again, similar type of import files. So I can go into here to import desktop VCS and then video, right? So again, I can do the same thing. I can select multiple ones. I can select one if I want to just edit one and add audio to it. Same thing. We go here. Let's say I want to bring in this audio. Again, you can bring in pictures. So let's bring in, I think this is an image here. And I think the image, yep, see, so it automatically placed my image there and it placed my audio here. So it's pretty intuitive. You can go ahead and drag them in there too. So if you want to just do a drag and drop, again, same thing. So now it gives me here. So similar, now you get extra features here, which is kind of nice. I think this one overall, it's a great tool. It's easy to use. It's easy to learn. So again, I'm going to get rid of some of these other tracks because I'm not going to use them. You just right click, remove track. Let's just keep 3 tracks. Again, everything is scalable. Most of your basic Windows commands. You've got preferences on here. So if you want to, make certain settings, you can go in here and change. Everybody likes the dark theme these days. You can go in here and you can change your folders and everything. Interesting, you can actually it actually integrates with Blender. So if you're doing any kind of images or things like that, you can go ahead and integrate with Blender. So I don't know if it's the same company or not. Inkscape is another tool for image management. So again, feel free to go in and download these. Your default, how do you want to download? What's your default preference? For us, you should always be using 1080p if possible. 30 frames per second is pretty much what I use for a lot of my videos. Yeah, they all look alike. Editing is editing, spot on, absolutely. You're going to see a similar look and feel. Everybody does R&D, right? Rip off and disseminate. They all follow each other. It is what it is. So you go up even to the high end. You may have more bells and whistles. The image may be cleaner. You may need a 48-inch video monitor to use, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Default audio channels, I leave them as stereo, Again, unless you're doing something like, you know, a movie for the home or something, you're not going to do surround sound. Anyway, autosave, you should leave all the rest of these as default unless for some reason you want to go in there and change them. Every tool that I'm going to show you, whether it's audio, whether it's video, shortcuts, command keys, you can modify these. You can use the ones that are there. I highly recommend you learn these because as you're doing this, it makes your life so much easier. But everything you can do, yeah, do that. So everything you can do through the tabs. So again, if you want to do the video, you basically drag it down here, and now with the space bar, you can actually start and stop. You can use your video up here, so you get it. I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple of videos on here. You can do them in different tracks, or you can do them on the same track. This is your snap tool. So you'll notice here I can move it around freeform. I'll show you this in a second. What this does is really cool. But it's the snap tool, so when you're working with images and you want it to snap right up against next to them, it'll go ahead and lock it in there. Same thing here. Scroll. If you want to scroll, obviously you have your plus and your minus, and you have this here, so you can scroll in your window, right? You can see where your time is. You can also hit your control and your mouse wheel. So everything here you can mark parts of video. Sorry. You can add tracks back in. Here you can go ahead and so center the timeline on the playhead. So wherever your playhead is, you can actually center it. So let's say you got a 5-minute video, wherever you put that playhead, and this is the playhead here, it's going to center it on the screen. Can you have the audio in a separate track from video? Absolutely. This is a pretty powerful tool, actually. It's really kind of great. So let's do this. Let's take the audio track. Boom. I'm going to throw this down here. Right. It doesn't really differentiate here. It is what it is. It'll put it down here in the second track. You don't really have you can rename this track if you want to. So we can call this audio. And now we have our audio track. Same kind of concept here. You notice here I can add, I can shrink, I can grow a video. Again, let's say this one here. Okay, I can move my playhead here. So again, scrubbing, I want to start right here on the timeline. Yeah, I got a lot going on right now, so it's going to be a little laggy. But you notice now that here the audio is in there with the video. Same thing. Can you separate video and audio in an MP4? I believe you can separate audio, single clip, multiple clips each channel. So I want to create one channel. It'll actually do it down here. So now the fire clip, it created a separate audio track here. It actually overlaid, so I can actually bring it down here, and now I can create this. Is there a mixer in the audio? In here, let's see, is there a mixer? I haven't really played with that. So the answer is I'd have to find that out. Probably in something like this, there may very well be, but typically what I'll do is, again, the audio, you can control volume, you control those kind of things. There's no EQ or anything in here. But yeah, you can go ahead and change your volumes, or your volume levels, sorry. So now we have the fire out, and you can also, you can turn your volume here, right? So here's what you have. You can change your levels. You can fade in, fade out, your different percentages of audio at the start of clip, end of clip, or at balance of clip. So at the end of clip, I want to go ahead and fade out fast, right? At the start of clip, I want to fade in fast. And so again, the fire, I can do the same thing. I can go in here and I can just, for the whole clip, I can just make the level 20%. So it'll go ahead and change my fire clip. But now you barely hear it. Can you mute a track? Absolutely. You can go in here again to entire clip, and you can do level 0. So again, they're very basic commands. As you get into some more of the other programs, and again, if you use Adobe, everything is seamless. If you use Shotcut, you can do more with it. So one of the cool things about OpenShot is that transitions are seamless. If I drag this video file here, it automatically creates a transition. So if I go in here, I'm gonna move the playhead here. Watch the video here. You notice now it'll do a nice transition into that. Yep, it's just like Sony. So they all borrow from everybody else. Markers, let's say I want to mark this. So I can go into here and I can add a marker. Uh-oh, somebody's, all right, good. Would you recommend outputting video into a low resolution prop like a Megatree? If so, what resolution would you output? Again, I wouldn't. Video on anything like a tree, you've really got to use very low resolution video. Otherwise, it's just not going to look good. You can try it. It either works or it doesn't, right? So yeah, so if I wanted to turn this audio off, let's say just for while I'm working on it, I can go in here and volume entire clip, and I could just say, you know what, I just don't want to hear it. The other cool thing is transitions. So here you have a basic fade in, fade out. If you notice, if I go here, I can, reverse the transition. I can do an out to in. I can go in here and set specific properties. This is where the power of this tool is. And as you'll see with the other tools, and I wanted to really highlight this one because Shotcut is primarily the same. The layout's different. You have more bells and whistles, but pretty much they work the same way. You've got so many different transitions here. So let's say I wanted to go from this video to this video, and I wanted to do a bar ripple transition. So I drag my transition down here. I can change the time of my transition. And so now when I come here, I don't know, it's still playing that. So you notice now it comes in here and it does a ripple transition in, right? So there's tons of these. And you can actually edit each one. So over here in the properties, it gives you the ability to make all kinds of adjustments. So you can go in here and create very unique transitions and effects. It also has effects. So let me bring down another. Here. Oh yeah, always save. It's probably always a good idea to save. So now I want to go back here to my project files. Let's go to the train. I'm going to bring the train down here. Okay, and again, I can bring it anywhere I want to. I can put it on any timeline. And now let's go into effects. So let's go from here to here, but I want to use, let's say my color is not good. I can use a color saturation effect. If I want to crop, I can use a crop effect. A negative effect will give you a blur effect. Let's put a blur effect on this and let's see what it does. Let's see what happens. If it does anything. See? Let me go into here. Should have made the volume 0. There it goes. So now I use that blur effect, and so now the video comes in like a blur. So you can do that. You can throw in a wave effect. So it gives you all kinds, and again, they're all customizable. So every one of these you can go in here and you can adjust them in the properties. So if I go in here and I go to details view, now it'll give me a list of what every one of these does too. So yeah, they're back to thumbnail. So really the tool gives you a lot of built-in transitions, built-in effects. Let's see, full screen, you've got different options up here. I'm not going to get into everything time-wise. But again, now I can do the same thing. I can export this. I can export my project. I can export the video, right? It tells me what do I want to save it? How do I want to save it for DVD, for the web? It's got built-in profiles here. Target, is it Vimeo? Is it YouTube? And they set different parameters for it. So let's say YouTube HD. It'll automatically say, hey, you're going to go. Thank you. You're going to go 1080p, and same thing. And then quality. How do you want to do it? So that is OpenShot. Oops, look at that. And same concept as the other tool. Again, completely free. Now we'll go into Shotcut. I wish these sessions were a little longer. Shotcut is, I was working on this morning actually. So Shotcut, same thing. Let's see. So again, same concept. It looks a little more intuitive. You've got a little more, more to play with, more settings. You've got, when you go into your different screens up here, so now you got your player if you want to watch your video, your effects. So the interesting thing about Shotcut is you can go into your effects depending on what you're working on. And let's say I want to do audio. I have effects and audio that I can actually go in here and I can, play with my audio. The other cool thing with it is in real time, if I'm on here, I can go up. Actually, let me go in here. You see this little button here? This gives me the ability to just drag this, and I can fade out and fade in. So it gives me an automatic bar there at the end of the audio here, at the beginning and the end. So I can automatically do that. So here I've already done it. You can also do it through the effects screen, so you can actually make those changes. One other thing I want to talk about with Shotcut, which is very powerful, is the use of keyframes. Keyframes give you the ability to make changes within a video or audio file. And what do I mean by that? Let's say I wanted to take this video file and I wanted to do a zoom in. I could actually create keyframes within that video. And I can, offline, I can go ahead and show you this because it's really where the power of this tool gets close to, a paid version, right? I can take this, I can create a keyframe in my video, and I can say, I want to go ahead and I want to zoom here where Santa comes in, right? I want to zoom this and I want to zoom on his face. I can actually put a keyframe in this audio. I can set a section. I can massage it where I can zoom in. Let's see if it's on in. Yeah, size, position, and rotate. All right. So now I can go in here and there's presets, that I can use. And for the most part, slow zoom in, right? So let's say I wanted to do that. Now it's automatically set my keyframes for me, and it's going to show me. So it's slowly zoomed in to the picture where you didn't see that before. So again, I would go ahead and recommend download the different tools, and see if you video your display from multiple angles and want to use them all in your video. Yeah, these editors will not work well. Yeah, again, the purpose of this is you've really got to play with it, right? If you're doing multiple videos of your display and you're bringing them into this, you've got to really sit down and spend the time to edit it. And that's where I wouldn't use, say, Windows 10 down and dirty. If you've taken, let's say you've taken 4 different angles of your display, and you want to create a video, you could use the Windows 10 video editor pretty easily, right? And then the audio file could be the actual audio file the separate audio file that you used. And you should be able to use that down and dirty. But I would recommend using Shotcut, OpenShot if you want to do some more of these advanced features. Because again, I think you get more flexibility. Let's see, would you bounce video to Audacity and normalize and then add in other music and sound effects? Again, it's entirely up to you. So typically what I'll do is I will take, I'll actually convert the, and you can do this in different tools, Audacity or your video, where you can create that separate track. I would go ahead and create a separate audio track. I would take the actual audio, not from what's running in your display live. I would actually take the audio that you used and then bring that back into your video. Yes, you can use Audacity to normalize or amplify, as we talked about yesterday. You can use MP3 gain if you want to get a clean, quick, audio. They do normalization, right? That's basically what they do. So that's pretty much it. I could do another session if folks are interested. I'm certainly available. I can do a podcast on it. I can do a Windows Live session. Obviously, when you start getting into some more of the commercial tools, there's other people who can do a better job of that. I personally use Shotcut for a lot of the stuff, or OpenShot for a lot of the stuff down and dirty. But yeah, if you all are interested, I'm certainly available to do that. I want to do one more thing here before we go to any other questions. If you want to unmute everybody.
I'd love for you to do one on Shotcut for sure.
Okay. What I'll do is I can either do it as a video and then present it, or I can do it as a Windows Live. To me, it really doesn't matter. But I think that the power of these tools is that once you learn them, you pretty much are going to use them, and you're going to find what works for you.
What about a Zoom room off day, like a Monday or a Tuesday?
Oh yeah, I could do that, certainly.
I bet you could draw quite a crowd doing that. I like both the Shotcut and the other one. What was it?
OpenShot?
OpenShot. Yeah, I've ever used OpenShot for is basically trim videos. I didn't realize it had a lot of the other features.
Yeah.
I had taken time to mess with them. I've done most everything in Sunny, but I see Shotcut has a lot of the same features that I possibly could use.
Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to do this, because a lot of people don't realize that that the tools are there and they have the capabilities. And again, they're completely free. There's no watermarks. That's the thing you've got to be careful of on a lot of these tools is they have watermarks in them. They're very limited in features. Shotcut and OpenShot to me have the most features of all of them. Let's see, X Essentials. Yeah, I'll talk to Ed. Maybe I can do it as an X Essentials.
Since he's cut down to one a month, you could do a special one.
I could. You know what? Let me talk to him and see, because again, I am not, when it comes to paid software, I'm not the guy. There's someone else who can talk to that. But for this kind of stuff, and again, I learned mostly by watching videos and just playing with it to see what works for me. Let's see. There's a couple other things in here before we break. Different time zones, absolutely. Let's see, lining up the audio and video. So I just wanted to touch on that for a second and say, oh yeah, breakout rooms, absolutely. I wanted to talk about for a couple of seconds about that. Again, you can certainly do that in here. So when you have your audio and video, a lot of times, which you can watch what you're doing. I think somebody here made a recommendation on a couple of seconds before and after. Yeah, when you're doing the video, it's probably good to do that, and then you can go ahead and massage it. James, what software do you use for editing? You know, I actually use Adobe Audition, because I do a lot of my audio editing in that. But you can definitely use Audacity. Audacity works just as well. Did the class yesterday. Again, if anybody's interested, let me know. IM me. I'll do separate videos. I'll do a live class. I'll talk to Ed about X Essentials. But I think I like the smaller groups, the one-on-one kind of thing where we can walk through that. So any other questions, comments? All right, I'm going to actually take a snapshot of the comments in here. I'm going to save the chat. because it says interested in lining up video from a group, different angles, videos of one sequence. Okay. You know, I'll actually take the video I did when I did X Lights Around the World. And I'll use that as an example because we all took multiple shots. So anyway, I think I'm done here. Get ready for the next class, what is the next class?
It's Scott Hansen talking about X-Lights controllers. So we'll stop the recordings here now.